I have never been so nervous to start recording in a while. Hi everyone, I'm Jasa and this is Just Jasa. For everyone that is new, this is a channel where I attempt to be completely authentic and consistent, right? Everybody that's been with me, y'all know what I mean by consistent. But welcome back. Welcome to my channel. Just welcome. Like I said, this has been a long time coming and I am extremely nervous. So excuse me if I find periods where I am just rambling. But this video is titled Getting Back on My Feet. For obvious reasons, this is a reintroduction, but I'd rather not do another introduction video. I just want to summarize everything that has been going on. If you follow my personal page, my business pages, you know that a lot has changed and I'm super excited to talk to you guys about it. So let's get right into it. So this video obviously is going to just be us talking. Let's get back to it, okay? Because the next couple of videos is going to digest everything that I'm letting y'all know today, okay? So first off, where do I begin, y'all? I quit my job. I got married, I had a baby, I moved. It's been crazy, right? So I quit my job in March of last year because I found out I was pregnant, right? I finished most of the semester, the spring semester, and it was nice. I definitely enjoyed my students. I enjoyed what I do. However, I found myself in a position where my job didn't care about my health, and my pregnancy was not the easiest. So I found myself in a lot of pain. I found myself always passing out. I was absolutely exhausted, which this is my first child. So it was definitely an experience while being a second grade teacher. They do not let up, right? So that was my turning point. I realized that maybe staying in the classroom as long as I had planned was not in my plan anymore. So I ended up going ahead and go on maternity leave, and I had planned on coming back for the next school year, and that just didn't go as planned, right? So like I'm telling you, my plans just kept changing. So I ended up officially quitting by April. I sent her my email like, hey, it looks like I'm not coming back. And my husband, my now husband, we'll talk about him later, he ended up getting a different job that kept him in the area that he's in now, which is Gainesville, y'all. It is destitute. It's different. It's definitely different considering I'm from California, and moving to Georgia alone was different. You know, it's trees versus smog, right? So moving to Gainesville, where there is so much more time to myself in the nicest way possible, time to myself, it has been different, right? So I'm here and I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do with my life. I'm pregnant still at this point, and my husband is working and I'm not, right? So it's been difficult, to say the least, and to be completely vulnerable. Quitting my job, it took me a very long time to figure out what I wanted to do, and then it took me no time to get where I wanted to be. And now I am in a position where I have to start all over. Do I regret it? Some days. Do I question myself? Often. However, I wouldn't change my decision because it has allowed me to be where I am now with my son and with my husband, right? So as I go on through my life, here I am jobless, living in a completely different city that is not too far off from what I'm used to, and I'm still trying to figure out myself. So fast forward to May, my beautiful son comes out, and I had the experience of a lifetime, y'all. So I'm gonna give y'all the story just because, why not? We have plenty of time. I am at home by myself. It's like 10:30, right? My husband works overnight and I'm just sitting here watching TV, try to fall asleep a little bit, wake up. What the hell is that? Y'all, the pain. When they say, oh, you'll know, oh, I knew, right? it wasn't a full-on contraction yet, but I could tell like it's gonna be a doozy. So 10:30, I'm just lollygagging. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So I call my dad, who does not live in the state, so the time difference helped out with that, right? I'm sitting on the phone with him and my stepmommy, and we're just talking for hours and hours and hours. And by 3-4 o'clock, I'm like, yo, I gotta go. I'm in pain. I can't do it anymore. I gotta sit here and think about my life. So 4:30 comes around. I'm texting my husband like, you need to get home because I can't do this. I am by myself, screaming on the floor. Someone needs to be here. So by the time he gets home, he's looking at me balled up on the floor in the bathroom. And he's like, okay, you need to get up so we can go. Yeah, I ain't got no clothes on. Who's getting up? Who's going to the hospital? I can't move. So I'm just laying there yelling at him like, no, I can't move. No, I don't know what we're gonna do. I can't. So y'all, I finally get the courage to stand, not put my pants on, but stand, y'all. It was crazy, right? So he rushed me to the hospital. They checked me, y'all. When I tell you, she was like, we gotta go. My baby was coming out, no epidural, no prep, no labor songs, no kumbaya stretches. I was in there and we had to go. So, like I said, my son came out and it was a completely different experience. Had this crazy plan, 6 pages. I had the red folder. I had everything planned out and it did not go as planned. So here we are, step 3 in my life changes and my plans have changed. So, what can I say? I was excited. I was terrified because it was just me and my husband. Once again, no one had any prep time. My family lives away from me. So for them to get here at a moment's notice was not in the plan. So by the time I was able to go to my official room, everyone was there. So that was nice to know within my 30-minute delivery and the time it took for them to sign all the paperwork, get all the blood work, get all the testing and all that stuff done, everyone was there to make sure that we were okay and to greet their new grandson, and uncles and aunts and everybody came to see that baby, not us, that baby, make that very clear. So we spent that time, you know. Unfortunately, it wasn't the easiest pregnancy. It wasn't the easiest time getting to that amazing moment in my life. However, I wouldn't change it if it meant getting back there. So let's recap, right? So quit my job because it was pretty much traumatizing experiencing that with my child and the stress. It was very stressful. Moved to a completely new city by myself with my husband and baby in stomach. Not the worst. I've been here plenty of times because, like I said, my husband lived here before. So I was driving up here. Yes, I was that girlfriend that drove every weekend to see her man. I did. Had my son. It was an amazing transition. And now, once we moved to Gainesville, once I moved, right, we had a plan. Again, these damn plans. We had a plan to live in a certain place. It didn't go the way it was supposed to. So at a moment's notice, we had to move again. We found this amazing place, which is where we are now. As the videos go on, you will see more and more of my house because I am tired of being in this corner and this stupid ass tapestry. So we're gonna do something different. But until we get to that point, y'all, yes, we moved. We found this awesome place in the same area that is ours. I think that is something else that we really had to adjust to and get into, was creating something of our own. For the longest, our plan consisted of other people. It consisted of other people's foundations. And for us to step out and have no choice but to get our own, I think added a lot of solidarity for us. It really opened our eyes to who we are as a couple and not what other people were projecting, if that makes sense. We'll get into that later too, y'all. I'm telling you, these last months of my life, almost a year at this point since our last video, our last real video, has been crazy. And I really have a lot of wisdom to share, which we'll talk about, where you guys can keep following me when I'm not posting my videos. But like I said, one step at a time. Let's keep going, right? So here we are in this awesome new place. I absolutely love this house. Oh my goodness, it is so nice. It's safe. Bunch of kids. It's definitely a place to grow up and to raise our child, right? So, like I said, still unemployed and trying to figure out what I want to do next. I have always adored helping people. I love kids. I love kids, and I want to help as best I can with both of those aspects. But the biggest thing that I've learned outside of the kids, because I've always known that, was I wanted to help women. My brand has always been centered around women, and that is something that I could never put my finger on. I wanted to figure out, okay, everybody's helping women. Everybody's helping Black women. What can I do? What can be different? And although I'm still working on it, I do want to share that with y'all, right? So the new business name is called RAW, right? It's an acronym for people that have gotten my book, for people that have not gotten my book. Y'all need to get your lives together, and I'm going to drop the link for y'all to get that book, because what are we doing? Really, what are we doing? Watching my long-ish videos, and you ain't even going to read my book. How you going to know what we're talking about? Anyway, so the acronym for my book, RAW, is Rare African Woman, right? That's not what RAW stands for in my brand. RAW for my brand has an R that is interchangeable for the values of that brand, and the A and W stand for audacity of women. Ooh, it didn't want to come out. Maybe that wasn't for y'all to hear yet. All right, so we're going to pretend like you guys never heard that ending, and we're going to move on. So yes, like I said, I did recreate my brand, and of course, for people that once again have been following me, and I love and commend you for staying with me, you know that I have been constantly trying to nail down what I want this business to be, what I want it to stand for. And after being exposed to different people's businesses, their plans, how they've gotten their foundation together, their content, and everything of that nature, I have been able to do that. You know, I've been able to see, okay, this is what I was missing. This is how I want to target people. This is how I want to communicate my vision, right? So I did that, and I will share that with you guys when I'm completely ready, because in the last take, I was messing up. Like, it wouldn't come out. So I do think that is my sign to shut the hell up and stop sharing so much. So I'm gonna do that, right? So here we are. Restart. I did restart my brand. I did focus on something that I think will be my long-term as far as career-wise. Little backstory on me. Like I said, I've always loved kids. I have a bachelor's in criminal justice. I am working on my master's now in elementary education, which I am almost done, y'all. If life wasn't going the way life was going, y'all, I would have been done in December. But life happens and things keep changing. So those are my 2 degrees at the moment. However, before I signed on with education, I had planned on being a mental health counselor for children. That is my passion. I absolutely loved it. I think out of all the schooling I've done, all the classes I've taken, because even in undergrad, I had so many different majors that I was just trying to pinpoint for myself. And I learned that mental health is where it's at for me. I genuinely loved every course. I loved the experience. But because I chased the money instead of chasing my dreams, I changed my program to elementary education, and here we are with an unfinished mental health counseling master's. But it's okay, because I'm definitely going back, especially after experiencing what I did with teaching. As we know, the school system is pretty wonky, especially for people of color. And that's not just speaking on Black people, for uneducated folks out there. That is anyone with a little tint to them. They treat us the same, right? So these schools, they are underfunded. They are unkept. The teachers are overworked. We are exhausted. And they are statistic driven. So we have these students in this classroom that are having the hardest time trying to gather and comprehend the information that someone else has given to them. And we know as adults, we haven't done this work in years. How can we tell a child to comprehend the way we don't even remember how to comprehend, let alone change it every year? So I'm watching these kids with not only the inability to comprehend this information, I'm watching them struggle with their own issues, ADHD, autism, dyslexia, personalities. They're developing themselves. They are struggling. And not only is it taken off of a piece of paper where they can know how to write something out, they're learning to write stuff out. It's put on a computer. You know, I'm watching this. I'm watching these kids, something I had dreamed to do, because I was in the classroom before I had my own classroom. And that was so enlightening to me. I wanted to help these kids. I wanted to work with them. But the moment I was in that position, it didn't inspire me to want to stay and be that difference and be that teacher they remembered, and wanted me to leave to build something that they can stand on. I did not want to be in the class. I don't know how the teachers that I knew, grew up with, or even worked with were so okay with that. And maybe they did have the mindset of, I want to be the difference or the one that they remember. That wasn't me. It wasn't. I don't think it will ever be me. I have big dreams, big aspirations, and I definitely follow through no matter what. The moment it goes on that piece of paper, y'all, you're going to see me. Whether it takes me years to get it done, it's going to happen. So that is another reason why I left. I was okay with leaving, even though that was something I had built for myself, because it wasn't what I built for myself. It was not something I wanted to do. I went from being the teacher that walked around getting dressed every day, making sure I showed up and showed out. I didn't have a smile anymore. People would come up to me and say, "What happened from last year to this year? You're not as cheerful." And it was the stress, it was the strain, it was the disappointment. I felt like I was failing my students every damn day. And the expectation to always be the best, always do what they needed to do, meaning administration. And that wasn't always possible. Once again, you can't blame children for not knowing things that they just don't know, when you're placing them in a system that doesn't give them time to learn what they don't know, but expect them to learn the things that we don't know, right? Let that sink in, because that shit is hard. It is difficult to sit there and teach them something I don't remember. Second grade math, y'all, it's not hard, but I had to go back. There were word terminology, collective nouns. After I learned what it was, I remembered. I know what that is. I use that on a regular basis. However, it's things that we have to go back and learn. Wild. Anyway, so moving on, right? All of that to say, children have been a big focus, as well as the women, right? So with the kids, I don't know if y'all are supposed to know yet, but if you're following me, you do know, right? That's the trick. You need to be following me. So I started a tutoring service that is called King's Marvelous Scholars, and I will be focusing on how to help our children learn, how to help them understand, how to comprehend in their way, not my way, not what the school system says. I will be offering standards that are in my state. However, we're not going to learn the way that I was taught to teach them in school. It is going to be what works for them. They need to be able to utilize their strengths, utilize their skills in order to learn new skills. And that is my big focus when it comes to tutoring our students. They need help, and they need someone that is skilled in those different personalities, those different strengths, those different obstacles. They're going to need that time and care, and that is what I'm hoping to offer with my service. So be on the lookout for all of my posts, because I have been going in, y'all. I have my info meeting August 26th, yes, of this year, and we will start our classes September 5th. So please be on the lookout for that. If you have children that you know might benefit from this, right now I am only focusing on writing ELA skills. The calendar is within my post, so please look out for that if you are interested in it. But ultimately, I am doing a lot of different content areas, but we're going to start off slow, because you know how it can be. However, don't take how I post equivalent to my professional life. We get it done over here. So please, like I said, my flyer is up on my page. That will be put in this video. You know how I am. We always gonna promote. All right, so moving on, that is one of my things that I'm trying to do to get back on my feet. My other side is my business that we'll discuss a little bit more in detail in another video. And that is for my ladies. That is trying to do my best to give you guys a platform. I have so many entrepreneur friends that we confide in each other. It is hard to get off the ground. And that is what they've been trying to do. They've been trying their best to have time, let alone somewhere to do it. Who is going to hear about my business if I can't even take the time to post? So that is something else I've been trying to do, help people get that platform. Promoting. Eventually, I think I'm going to start it in August. I'm feeling August, where, not August, I apologize, October, where I'm going to have once a month, have my entrepreneur women come on here and talk to us about who they are. I'm going to invite other guests to speak on topics with me so I can allow people to feel comfortable and have somewhere to promote themselves, talk about themselves. I remember the first time I had somebody want to promote mine, it made me feel good, whereas other people don't, you know. And my husband, for example, he hates the business side, but being able to give him that opportunity and experience has been nice. So that is what I'm doing as far as women. You will see a lot more charity work. That is not something that will be posted. That is not something that will be bragged about. It is because I know how hard it is to be on my own and I can pay my bills. I can only imagine how women and men and children that can't, and I want to help. So that is something else we'll be focusing on. I will probably be collaborating with a lot of nonprofits. I do have one in mind. We will also discuss her later. She's wonderful, but it is very important that we give back. And I find that the best way to do that is to just jump into it. So that is another platform that will be on my brand. I want to help and I don't need a profit. However, we do have part of my self-care aspect is going to be exclusively bath soaks. Okay, so my bath soaks, I have tried so many products over the years, and once again, I can't reiterate enough. If you have been following me at my pages, my many pages, my many websites, all of my promotions, you have known I do a lot of body care. And I do it because I absolutely love the way it makes me feel. So I try my best to incorporate that into what I make and give it back to you guys. But that is the only thing that I will be really stressing myself over as far as outside of what I do, my books, my tutoring, my offering of promotion, things of that nature. This is something that I found was really nice for me, and I still enjoy it. I take baths every day because it is relaxing. But my bath soaks are something that I'm working on. It won't be ready yet. I'm thinking also October because that is when I have my first event. So please be on the lookout for that. They are wonderful. But I'm not here to promote. I'm here to talk about everything that's going on. And yes, tutoring. I am trying my best to get you guys a platform, meaning women. I am trying my best to share my coping mechanisms with you guys, all of my books. I have a wonderful journal that I've mapped out that I'm going to be doing with you guys on my videos to kind of go over it, see where I need to change it. I definitely want to hear from you guys. What would you add? What wouldn't you add? What is missing? How does this prompt sound to you? All of these things are going to be in our future. As you saw, my next topics have been posted on my page and I will be getting those up. But overall, it feels good to be back. I truly enjoy this. I really love talking to you guys. I love being in this space where I can share my thoughts, share my experiences, and my janky ass tapestry that will not be here in the next video. But it just shows how long of a journey I've had and how much better I'm trying to be when it comes to talking to you guys and being vulnerable and being open to the experience. So with that being said, I welcome you back. I hope that you continue to follow. I hope you share this to have other people follow. Make sure you turn on your notifications because when I start posting consistently, y'all, you're gonna be like, ooh, we tired of Jasa. Because why is it that she's always posting something? Yes, this is just Jasa. It is just about the things that I wanted to make sure you heard. Okay, it's always going to be here. So make sure that you are up to date. Follow my Instagram page. I have one, my personal page, as well as my Just Jasa page. I will drop all of those links in the caption as well as here. Hopefully I put it here as I am gesturing here. So we're going to go ahead and make sure you have all the information to keep up with me. Like I said, be on the lookout for that flyer for my tutoring service, because August 26th is going to be my info meeting. But other than that, it was so nice to talk to you guys again, and I look forward to next Friday, where we will discuss my various topic that is not at the top of my head at the moment. But I thank you. I adore you. Thank you for coming back to Just Jaysa. Bye.